Hi everyone, I'm Carol Leroy from 90 is the New 70, and I invite you to join me on a creative venture we're going to do together. We are going to fearlessly learn how to release our inner creative self. We're going to share it with others. We're going to have a lot of fun. I want you to watch our YouTube videos. I'd like you to watch Facebook and use your iPad. Together we can do what nobody could imagine. Watch out, world. Here we come. Hi everybody, I'm Carol Leroy from 90 is the New 70. I gotta tell you some stuff about myself. We're gonna start out learning how to crochet, but before that I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. It's January 10th. I had my handy dandy little outfit on that I made out of a damask tablecloth. Pretty nice, huh? And I went in the basement and I fell. And I fractured my pelvis. And I was home alone, and I had to wait till my husband came home from work to get me. So I went to the doctor. It's 6 weeks sitting in this chair with a heating pad and some physical therapy, and I'm going to be just fine. But life dealt me a lemon, and I'm going to try to make lemonade out of it. So you're going to get the lemonade by having this great class on crocheting. This is what I used to do when I was a little girl. I sat in a corner and I crocheted. I'll show you some of the things I made, but before I show you that, I'll show you what just came in. My new t-shirt, which says 90 is the new 70, yay, it's for us. And then on the front, 90 is the new 70, a picture of me, and it says Gray Power, Renaissance Woman. It's never too late to be creative. You go girl. Here it is. So, this is some of the stuff I crocheted when I was a little girl. This is a huge doily, and it's made on very small needles and very small thread. And I made this for my mom because she liked stuff like this when I was a little girl. But then I made one for myself for my bed and breakfast here. Okay, this I found at the Goodwill about 6 months ago. It was pitch black. I washed it. It's 100% wool. It is this wide, and it is probably 9 feet long. Somebody must have worked on this for years. It's all done with a single crochet, and that's what we're going to learn today. We're going to learn how to do a chain and a single crochet, and you'll be able to do something like this. The doily is going to be second step, but we're going to learn how to make a couple other little fun things. So just wait till I get my headset on and we'll finish up here. Let's get started here. Before we get started, I want to show you what's on my neck. Here's my phone. I never leave home without it. I never leave a floor of this house without it because I fall down and go boom. And it has inspired me to do a safety video. I used to do health and safety for a living for corporations, and you guys are going to hear about that before you hear any more fun stuff. Here's my handy dandy scissors. Always have those around my neck because I do so many crafts and so much art and stuff like that. Okay, here is the infamous Learn How book. This was printed in 1941, and when I was an 8-year-old, I learned how to read, and I got a copy of this book. So this is where I learned to crochet. This is where I learned to knit. This is where I learned to tat. And this morning I found my tatting shuttle. Here it is, right here. This is the one thing I could not conquer, but I learned how to do it later on in life. But this is called tatting, and it's a different kind of lace. So, failure, tatting, not interested in embroidery. Here is the book, and here are the instructions. The instructions are so simple. Anybody could read them. Anybody can understand them. I'm going to get these to you, and it'll say how to crochet, but there's a little glitch in this book. And the glitch is that it's done for a right-hander. Guess who's a left-hander? Moi. So, I was going to do it right-handed to show you as a demo, and then I thought, what am I doing that for? If as an 8-year-old I could transpose and make it work, you certainly can do it with the right way.
You just, when you look at my work here, just see I'm going left way and you're going to be going the other way. That's the only difference. Another exciting thing that I found, I looked in this book because I hadn't looked at it for years and years, and in that book was this very Afghan right here. It was from that Learn How book, and here it is. And here is the single crochet, the thing we're going to learn. Okay, what makes a difference in the sizes of the things we make? And you saw that I had that fine little piece of work, and I had big work, and then there's great big work. So you're going to find out what it means to have a gauge. And a gauge is the size of your needle or the size of your yarn. Here's a very fine yarn, and here is a very fine needle. This is what I'd probably use to work on, but I have used this at one time, this very fine needle. Look at that. I mean, I don't know who can see this, but I sure can't see it anymore. So this is the work I did on this thread with the size needle, and I'll show you how 10 stitches turned out when I did a chain on here. Here's a chain, 10 stitches, 3 rows. We're going to do that on various things. Look at that little tiny work. Think how long it takes to make a doily, a really small one. Okay, here is the next size needle. Excuse me. And this is done kind of on a medium size hook. And if you look here, I've got several that are just about the same size. Not too much different, just a little bit different style. Okay, I took those, and on those I used a regular worsted yarn. Look at this worsted yarn. 3 rows, 10 stitches, and it turned out this big. Remember the itsy bitsy one? A little that one? So here's a medium needle. We're not going to use that today much. But here's something else you can make with a medium needle, is a dish cloth. This was made with that very same needle, and it's a single crochet all the way around. It's kind of stiff and it's kind of hard, but it would work as a dishcloth. So this would be a project you could do. This is probably about 24, 26 stitches across, and then we just go on and on and on till we get the last stitch, and then we're done. So that's something you could make. As you can see, I used 2 strands of thread, so that's a little bit thicker than the one with the 1 strand of thread. Okay, here is another needle, and we're going to use this one today for sure. And here's another one. These are used for great big projects, and we're gonna use it. This one on here, and then we're going to make a chain. We're going to make a chain out of a satin edge of a bedding. Look at that. That's a chain, just like the chain was on the black, and just like the chain is on here, and just like the chain is on here, but we're using these great big needles. And this is another project you're going to make. You're going to make yourself a little hot pad or a rug, whatever. Here's a rag rug. Look at that. That's made with this great big needle. So let's put these 2 aside. Let's put this aside here, and I'll take the needle we're going to use today, and I'll take the yarn we're going to use today. And here it is. Here is 10 stitches, 3 rows on a little heavier thread. Look at that. Here's a circle. We're going to learn how to make a circle, and we're going to learn how to make 10 stitches in 3 rows. So let's get started here. I threw my handy dandy scissors here. Now remember, this is going to be for lefties. but you're going to transpose it. What I do is I take my thread, I've got my medium-sized needle here, and I make a little mountain. And then I make a little E. See, this thread goes on top. Well, I go underneath and get it. I can get it with my finger, but I get it with my hook too. And then I pull it down and pull it just loosely, not real tight, and I've got my first chain stitch. This is the basic for everything crocheted. Now, I hold my thread like this. I go under my finger, up over here. I grasp my chain here, and I use this hand just for the hook. You can do it any way you want. You will find what's most comfortable for you. This is what's comfortable for me. So don't think there's a rule or a law that you have to do it this way. Now what I've got one chain. I'm going to hook my hook over, bring it through. Now I have 1, 2 chains, 3 chains, 4 chains, 5, 6, 7. Just going to pull a little more thread up here. 8, 9, 10. Okay, I've got my fingers on that 10th one right there. See it? Now I'm going to turn my work. My work is going this way. Your work will be going that way. That's the only difference. Okay, I have my finger right on that end chain, and this is called a turning chain. So this is just a chain for no other reason than just to turn. Now you turn your work, and we're going to go back the other way. We aren't going to actually turn our work. We're just going to go back the other way across the chain. All right, see this V here? Here's my turning chain, but look at here. Here's my 10 chains. See those little V's? We're going to go in that top part of that little V there. And then we're going to hook over and pull that through. But now look what happened. We have 2 of them on. We're going to hook over again and pull through both of those. We've made our first single crochet. Look at down here, all the little lumps. Right here, the top one, go through it. Yarn over, bring it through, yarn over again, and bring through 2. Here's the third one. Go through it, yarn over, bring it through, yarn over again, and bring it through 2. Here we are again, that little top loop. Stick it in, yarn over again, and bring it through 2. I'm going to keep doing this until I get up to that 10th one. Okay, yarn over, bring it through the 2. Okay, yarn over, bring it through the 2. Yarn over, bring it through the 2. We're just about getting to that end chain, the one we started with. And you see what's happening? We're getting a little curly cue here. That's all right. That's exactly what happens. So now I'm on my 9th one. And here's that first chain we made with our little mountain. Remember that? I go through that. Have 2 on. Whoops. Sorry. Fell off. Okay. Now what do you think we do? We're going to make a turning chain right here and turn our work. Now look on top of this. Here's our turning chain right here. But look at this. See this chain going here? Here they are. There are the 10 stitches right there. So we're going to do this again. We're going to go in that top little thread there, and then we're going to bring up 2, through 2, and here's our second one, and here's our third one. And you can watch me do this all the way across. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you watch it. When I was a little girl in the 40s, we were very poor, and we lived in a house that did not have indoor plumbing and did not have indoor water and did not have central heating. We had a a space heater with gas, and it was down in the center of the living room. Okay, so we were warm when we sat in front of that at night. That's where I learned how to crochet, sitting there. But I'll tell you, I didn't crochet at night, and I'll tell you why. I'm at the end now. We're at the 10th one. Bring it through 2, make our turning chain, and turn. There we are for our next row. Get in that top one and start to go. I didn't do it at night because we didn't have television, of course. We had a radio, but we went to bed quite early and there was no heat in the second floor. So it was mighty cold. My sister and I used to take our pajamas, bring them out, lay them on that space heater, get them as hot as they could get without burning, put them on, and run upstairs, and we had hats and mittens on when we slept. In the morning, there was frost on the inside of the windows. I kid you not. To bathe, my mother had to get a bucket and go outside and pump the water, heat it on a wood stove, and then we'd all wash in a basin, and we went out to an outdoor toilet. Yes. Turning chain, and here we have 3 rows. We'll start again here. But what we did do is we had lots of time to learn stuff, lots of time to explore, lots of time to be creative. And that's what's so important about the time in our life right now. We can be creative again. We don't have all those hustles and bustles of kids and careers and getting to work on time and doing the punch clock and all that. We've got time just to relax and do whatever we want. Maybe it's crochet, maybe it's not. I'm going to have another video on more advanced crochet, so look forward to taking that one too. Okay, I'm going to stop right here, and here's my piece. Now I'm going to show you how we make this rug. This is fun because, as you'll see right here, these two are just alike. This rug and this rug are exactly the same thing as this. The only difference is what? Can you think what the difference is? Right, if anybody guessed the size of the needle and the size of the thread is the difference, that's right. Okay, here's how we make a circle. We make our mountain, we make our E, we go underneath and pick it up, and we make our first stitch. And there it is, our first single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I make it 10. Okay. Now, rather than make a turning stitch, we're going to go back to that very first one. Our very first one, we're going to go through that, pull a thread through, put that little baby down. Now we have 2. Bring those 2 together. Voila! Look at this. We've got a circle. We've got our start. Okay, let's make 1 for our turning. Now let's go. See the little ones, right? The little bees there. Now we're going to do something different now. We're going to go in that stitch, and because we're making circles, we're going to have to get bigger and bigger, so we have to increase. And the way you increase is go back in that same hole again and put another single crochet in there. So rather than just having 1 stitch in there, it's got 2. Okay, here's another one. I go in, I take 1 single crochet, and I go in and I make another single crochet. Okay, here's my next stitch. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets. We're going to go all the way around this circle, and you can see that it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we are increasing and increasing So you learned the chain, the single crochet, and how to increase. You learned how to make a single piece straight square with single crochets, and now you're learning how to make a circle, which you could make into a hot pad or a trivet or something, that you put on the table, when you don't want your tables to get all marked up from cups. I'm getting back to my end. Can you see that? See it coming up here? Here's another one. I'm going to do 2 in this last one. 1, oops, 2, and then I'm going to do that turning stitch. I'll do it 1, and so here I go again. Another time around. Put 2 in each one. Keep going around. Now, when I was a little girl, I didn't want to do sports. I didn't want to do ball games. I wanted to read. I read about science and the earth, and I loved stuff like that. I loved anything artistic, anything weird, anything I could experiment on. I was in trouble a great deal of the time because I always was asking the wrong questions. But that curiosity did well for me all of my life. It's helped me in my artistic career here. So I'm going to stop right now. As you can see, we've got a little bit bigger hole in the center here. I don't know why, but life goes on. So you can see that. So here you are. We'll let go of this. We'll come over here. This would be a rag rug. Here's rags. And in the olden days, when their clothes wore out, they either made them into quilts to preserve the fabric because they had so little fabric, or they made strips and made rag rugs. So here's a strip. I took a strip and I made it 2 inches, and then I just folded it in half and ironed it to make it neat. But generally you can do it real rough. You don't have to finish off the edges or anything. Here's my circle. I had a print in here, and here, look at this. Can you see those holes? Can you see those V's there? Okay, we've just finished a stitch, and I'm going to go into the next one here. Now this is hard work, and I'm not kidding. So if you have arthritic hands, this might not be something you could do, but you sure could teach your grandchild how to do it. As you see, I'm making 2 in this one. See it? See right there? I just made 2 stitches in this one. I'll make 2 in this one, so this is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And see, it pops up a little bit, but you can just push it flat. This morning, I took 2 old t-shirts, cut them up, and made them into strips. These I didn't even iron in half. This is a little bit smaller gauge, but I wanted you to be able to see what you can do with some old t-shirts. You can make rugs or trivets or anything out of them. Now look here. Go in there, bring up 1, yarn over, bring it through both of them. Here's more space in that same hole. Bring it through. There we are. We are making a red, white, and blue trivet, hot pad, whatever. You guys make stuff. Send me some ideas. Tell me what you learned. Tell me what you want to make with some of this stuff. I will teach you how to make hot pads that are real lacy, but we have to have a couple of other lessons first. So keep on going, guys. Great power. Have fun. Be enthusiastic. Get up in the morning and get those crochet threads out and get out the book and read and enjoy. Happy days, everybody. Great power.
Hi everybody, you've just completed another video from 90 is the new 70. Now is the time you've got to put yourself to work, get some action, do something. But first of all, push that subscribe button, and together we'll show the world that we are 70 forever. Watch out, world, here we come.